A politician makes around, I think, over 100K, or basically six figures. And, whatever they are, blue, left, right, whatever you want to call them, in their state, in their minimum wage, their people are getting paid pennies for what they do. And sadly, most people work, 9 to 5. I don't know how they work, but most likely they only go to work like 4 days, maybe even less than 5 days. I most likely believe that they work less than 5 days. Basically, they don't work a 9 to 5, just like us. But yet, they're getting paid more than you, and they are getting rich. Could be any politician. They are getting rich from insider trading, meaning that they can grow their net worth so much. I think I've seen one who made 30 million, or her net worth is 30 million, just from trading when she started in 2019. 30 million. That could change someone's life. Astronomically, that could change someone's life. Or even a 1% of what she has can change someone's life. And I'm over here making $22 an hour, which is actually probably the best out of the whole country. But sadly, there's a thing called inflation that makes your money less valuable over time. And I'm not going to be here like, oh, we should be paid more. But sadly, in this country, in this economy, our leaders failed us, basically. They sold us out. They enriched themselves and not cared about the American people and what the American worker can do. And they lobbied all against us, sadly, and they sold us out for cheaper products to offshore and that whole shenanigans. I don't want to get into too deep about that, because right now it's about working smarter, not just harder, and building something for yourself, something that touches your soul, in my opinion. But think about it. Billie Eilish. Think of any Gen Zer in my generation that are making millions of dollars, but they're not working a 9 to 5. They're not busting their ass off. Well, they are, but not in the way you think they are, if that makes sense. They're not doing manual labor, basically. We're seeing people work 2 jobs, and in my mind, that is absolutely crazy. But in other people's mind, that's going to be absolutely yes, because you need more money. And that should just be an example of how we're failing the people in this country. Literally, your money in the next 10 to 20 years is going to be more valuable to wipe your ass with it than to use it, in my opinion. That's how bad inflation's going to get. Your money is going to be so worthless and so little buying power. Not just for me, but you're this entire generation and the ones who are going to follow. Literally, your wage cannot support your not, it's not even a lifestyle, just your living, surviving, food, shelter, and clothing. And it's just absolutely crazy. If you live in a city, let's just take example LA, New York, it's just insane. But this is just another example to think smarter and not harder. Because sadly, inflation, the job market, not that much people are even hiring, which is absolutely, it's more than devastating. It's a national disaster. And people who are just, my generation, the ones that are gonna have to deal with this mess. It's not even a mess. It's literally a murder. And I know this is about hard work, but how can you work hard when your retirement isn't gonna support you for your whole life? You're gonna be working your whole life. And even if you work smarter, basically, invested, yeah, by the end of your lifetime, you'll probably have $1 million or less. Investing in VOO, investing in whatever you think is investing, if it makes sense. If you, invested, retired, had a little bit of like $1 million of net worth. Sadly, when you retire, that money is going to get eaten up by inflation. What the hell? The money that you worked hard for isn't working for you. It is going away to, you could say, the rich people. You could say that. You could say to the government. You could say that. But your money, even if when your money is working for you, it's getting eaten up by inflation, and the dollar is losing its value so bad. Well, as in right now. And you could say, not true, not true, not true. But yet there's so much data to back it up. And it's crazy that there is people denying this. The economy is going downhill. I'm not saying it's gonna, game's over, Great Depression, no. I'm saying that there's recession. But the whole point of this video was just to say that you gotta work smarter in this economy, not harder. And working harder is, obviously working harder is very hard, but you gotta not just, here's the thing, in America, or anyone watching internationally, we are, the American consumer is very big. We spend money on anything that's, you could say we spend money on useless things, which is, some people might agree, some people will disagree. Cost of living is very high. And obviously I haven't felt the brunt of it yet, but I soon will if I live on my own, obviously. But half of my generation, most of all my generation, is living with their parents. Most kids in my generation can't even afford a home, or will probably most likely will never own a home. Making six figures, then some people might agree that working six figures is not comfortable. It depends on what city and depends on where you live. But you gotta think like a builder, not a consumer. And you gotta work smarter, not harder. Because working hard does not guarantee success.